Namaste. It's a beautiful short poem of Sri Aurobindo and very beautifully and powerfully read by the mother. So we read this poem, but please, I think on Oroma it is there, read by the mother. It's something very beautiful, the way she reads it. The poem is one day. So we all are waiting for one day. What are we waiting for? We are waiting for some achievement, some wish fulfillment, some desires which will bring result. All these things we are waiting for. But what is the divine waiting for? What is this creation waiting for? One day. One day, the little more. One day, and all the half dead is done. Now, I am not going into controversies that in the previous edition, Sri Aurobindo has written half deed is done. Both apply. Half deed is done means a work which was unfinished. Half dead is done means something which was looked like dead but had refused to die. It was there in the subconscious. Both are equally valid according to me. But there has been a controversy about this particular poem in the first this line, this word, dead or deed, because sometimes in writing it can be confused. So I'm not getting into that. Either which way, there is something which is unfinished, half deed or half dead. It is done. Of course, if you ask me which is likely, half deed sounds to me more, likely. And mother has read that. One day and all the unborn begun. For a long time you wait. You see, when a baby is in the womb, you don't know what's happening. So there is a long waiting period in everything. And one day it takes birth and starts. So mother describes this like a chick chick inside the egg. So for a long time you will see no change. Some people, they want quick results. Oh, I tried meditation for 2 months, nothing happened. Even a baby is not born in 9 months' time. So forget about meditation finding the soul within. Soul is like a baby. It is described like that. It is described as the unborn who is born. So a time comes when suddenly this unborn element, why unborn? It's there, but it's not active. It's still in the womb of ignorance, darkness. And one day it is born to the light and a new journey starts. So one day and all the unborn begun, a little path and the great goal, a touch that brings the divine whole. So why the little path? It's very interesting. See, in yoga, you have these three movements. First is the wideness of the waste paper basket. Everything is there, this, that. People think with wideness means that. No. First you have to find God. So how do you find God? You have to narrow, narrow, narrow. Then you enter into that little path. Sankri gali. You know how Kabir puts it? जब मैं था तब हरि नहीं, जब हरि तब मैं नाही, प्रेम गली अति सांकरी, तामे दो न समाई. Either you can think about yourself or think about God. Very often people say, what is the solution to my problems? So the answer is, you are the problem and you are the solution. If you think about yourself, you will be a problem. If you think about God, that is the solution. Otherwise, life is so miserable, not to think about oneself. So there is a little path. This little path is the ego feels so stifled because there is the pressure of the divine consciousness. And one has to at one time ultimately choose that no, that's it, I want that. So go through a little narrow path and then you emerge into another kind of wideness. So the great goal and step in all is sky in God. So there is this below where, so it's like a hill. So everybody is down below and everybody is mixing and matching, but you don't have the complete picture. So you go through a narrowing path as you climb to the mountain. You can't say, I'll climb from this side, that side, everywhere. No, there is a path. On the road you can choose, I'll take this road, I'll take that road and any road. But as you climb the mountain, ultimately you reach one or two narrow paths. But what happens when you reach the peak? A step and all is sky in God. Then you have the total picture. So that is the true vastness. So we have to go through this wideness of the subconscious through a narrow path where we ultimately discover the divine and the whole. Then we have the total picture. Otherwise, we don't have the total picture. A touch that brings the divine whole. And that last step is like that. You are still, peak is here. You are tired. Seen that? Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. That shot when he's struggling. Then one leap. And then, no credit to Tom Cruise, the director and the way they do it. And they let go you and there's a whole illusion. But in yoga, it is a real thing. Till the last minute, you don't know whether you're going to lose your hand. Don't give up. Because he's right there, helping us, encouraging us to take the leap. And the moment you go, then you have a wonderful vision. Okay? So that's how it is. Dar ke aage jeet hai. Hill after hill was climbed, and now, behold the last tremendous brow. Hill after hill, the little conquest, hill of the physical body, which we climb as we grow through. First challenge of life is to just be embodied. So you establish yourself. Physically, one is grown to the utmost possible. Then the vital energy, then the mental energy. Then you have reached the point where you have done all these things. Then after that, some people say, oh, now it's time to retire. No, now is the real ascent. Hill after hill was climbed, and now, behold, the last tremendous brow. Spirituality is the greatest adventure. It's not for everybody. So one should not feel, people who say, oh, spirituality, people who can't do anything. Excuse me. Keh nanak, yeh khel kathin hai, kau gurmukh jana. Try to just master a little bit of your anger, then see. Spirituality is the most difficult, tremendous, great adventure. We should not belittle it by saying, life, wonderful, but spirituality so that we can have some peace. No, peace. Peace, yes, but it's not just about peace. It's about a complete new vision, new understanding, new way to deal with life, reorienting ourselves. So, when you reorient, you go through a phase of disorientation. Behold the last tremendous brow and the great rock that none has trod. A step and all is sky and God. So what is that last great rock? The last obstacle that we must cross. We can look at it from an individual perspective and the larger cosmic perspective. For each of us individually, there is a particular difficulty that chases us right to the end. Just can't help it. You will have beautiful experiences, but there is something which will keep on chasing you. It could be a doubt in the mind, it could be a, emotional in the heart, or it could be passions, it could be anything. Tendency to anger, whatever. It'll chase you till the end. And the world is so designed that is your individual difficulty. The moment you pierce it, you have the fullness. All this that you did is not wasted. It looks like that, but that is the last challenge. So a step in all is sky and God. From the cosmic point of view, it is nothing else but matter and supported by the inconscient. The day that is conquered, then the whole world becomes a world divine. So this is the effort going on since the beginning of creation. It refuses to die, half dead. It is the deed half done. It is something to be accomplished. So this poem gives us the hope, shows us the way. One day, the little more. One day and all the half dead is done. One day and all the half deed is done. One day and all the unborn begun. A little path and the great goal. A touch that brings the divine whole. Like the chick is getting ready in the egg. And when it is ready, the hen peeks, touch, and the chick comes out. That last thing is just a touch. A touch that brings the divine whole. Hill after hill was climbed, and now, behold, the last tremendous brow. And the great rock that none has trod. A step and all is sky and God. Namaste.